Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kay Unscripted and I am your host Kay. And guys, the drama is already at an all-time high in season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Allegedly, Drew and Dennis were caught boot up in the club. Porsha is begging Dennis not to film with Drew. Kenya and Porsha, they finally sit down and she's spilling all the tea on Simon. And baby Ralph is still living in Drew's basement. This episode has shade, scandal, and so many bombs dropped. We have to talk about it. Get ready because I'm breaking everything down and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Let's get into it.
Kay Unscripted, no teens restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
The episode continues with the sit down among the ladies, and Shamea wasted no time pressing Drew about her relationship with Dennis. According to her, multiple people saw the two getting real cozy at a club, so much so that they were wearing matching outfits. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that doesn't sound like a strictly business relationship to me. Porsha reveals that Dennis was actually the one who invited her to the party, and she had no idea that Drew and the Hot Dog King were working together. Meanwhile, Drew is explaining how Dennis approached her about helping with her music, and then she hits us with the Dennis has been my angel on earth. Now, Drew, we get that you have to put on for the show, but girl, you're taking it way too far. Am I the only one who thinks that was wild of Drew to say? Like, out of all the producers in Atlanta, Dennis was the only one that could have helped you with your music, Drew? Come on now, Drew, you knew exactly what you were doing. Then she brings up how Dennis once produced a song for him and Porsha, saying he got so emotional and he cried. Porsha being her shady self, she was like, "Aww, baby." She's out here saying she found Dennis crying, then she cried and they both crowed. Her words, not mine. But Porsha wasn't buying Drew's explanation at all. She even claimed that she had already told Porsha about their business dealings, but Porsha was not having it. She clapped back, calling Drew a low-down, dirty individual, and exposing that Drew had been trying to get Dennis to film scenes with her for season 16. And for Porsha, that was a line that should have never been crossed. Clearly, this situation wasn't going to get resolved, so they pivoted back to enjoying the party. And some of Shamea's friends, they jumped into the pool, and before we knew it, it turned into a full-on foam fete, right? Twerking, drinks flowing, and vibes were on 100. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about Drew wanting to film with Dennis, but we will get into this a little later when we really understand Porsha's side. Next, we get a little more insight into Angela's relationship with her husband, Charles, and turns out he loves to cook and clean, and let's be real, nobody wants to come home to a dirty kitchen, right? While she's filling in her daughter about everything that went down at Shamea's party, especially the Drew and Porsha drama, Charles is not here for the gossip. He checks her real quick and he says, "Why are you talking about them? Talk about you." Charles does not play. Angela at this point really seemed like she was against the idea, and so she asked Charles would he have done it, and then he says, "I wouldn't want to work with none of these lames anyways." Charles is not playing. Charles, please behave yourself. Next, we get to see the sit down with Porsha and our girl Kenya. Now, when I tell you all I was so excited seeing Porsha and Kenya together, I was happy. I was smiling. My face was hurting. This is a sit down that we really needed. Before the conversation even started, we got a montage of the past drama, the fights, the shade, the literal dragging, just to remind us how far these two have come. And honestly, it's really a shame that we won't get to see more of the dynamic in season 16, since we know Kenya's role will be very limited this season. But Kenya brings up that Drew already told her about the Dennis situation, and while she found it odd, Drew made it seem like Porsha had given her a blessing. Porsha clarifies that what really bothered her wasn't just the collaboration, it's the fact that Drew wanted to film with Dennis and didn't even tell her. And given how rocky her co-parenting relationship with Dennis can be, she expected more transparency, which honestly, it makes sense. From there, the conversation shifts to Porsha's messy divorce, and Kenya asks how things got to this point, and Porsha reveals that she didn't truly see the red flags until blogs started dropping receipts on Simon. She revealed that she only recently learned about his criminal past and immigration issues. That's when she realized he was allegedly lying, scamming, and he even had other women in the house. Now, if nothing else, this scene really confirmed what we've all been thinking. Porsha really didn't know who she married, and while some people still have mixed feelings on that, but I think she really didn't know everything about Simon. I think we can all agree that Porsha hasn't made the best decision when it comes to choosing a partner, but at this point, all we can do is wish her peace and happiness. And speaking of men, I cannot get a read on Brit's husband. Something just seems a little bit off about him, allegedly. These two actually met through her job as an insurance agent, and the love story is still in its early chapters. They tied the knot during the pandemic with a Zoom wedding, and now Brit is ready for the next step and having a baby. But here's where it gets interesting. Since Mike, her husband, already has a teenage son, they've decided to go to the IVF route to ensure that they have a girl. But if that wasn't enough of a shakeup, Brit also wants her mom to move in and to help her raise the baby. I guess if that works for them, it works for them. The husband didn't seem too excited, but I guess we will get to see more of it this season. Up next, we meet Shadina, who was a surrogate for Shamea. We learned that Shadina was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 42 weeks pregnant, which meant Shiloh, Shamea's youngest daughter, had to be delivered early. In an emotional moment, both Shadina and Shamea, they expressed feelings of responsibility for how the pregnancy turned out. Shadina felt guilty that her illness might have caused Shiloh's health complications, believing that she had probably failed Shamea by not giving birth to a healthy baby girl. And I guess that can be valid with her feelings. And on the other hand, we had Shamea blaming herself and wondering if the pregnancy had somehow triggered Shadina's cancer, even though that wasn't the case. But despite Shamea's own heartbreak, she revealed to us that she had suffered a miscarriage earlier in the year, and she remains hopeful about extending her family in the future. Now, these are the heartfelt moments that makes us love RHOA. That was really a beautiful scene to watch. I was tearing up because it was just, such a meaningful conversation that needed to happen. Meanwhile, Drew and Angela link up for a workout session. Is this a drop it by Drew part 2? But it seems like Angela must have been reading my mind because she straight up asks Drew, why Dennis? We want to know. Drew explains that she's worked with legends in the industry, but her music never took off the way it should have until Dennis stepped in. She insists that if Porsha had told her she wasn't comfortable with the collaboration, she wouldn't have done it. But let's be real. Does Drew even really mean that? To me, some boundaries just shouldn't be crossed, and this is definitely one of them. And now that Drew knows Porsha isn't okay with it, Angela even said it, but Drew, she's telling you that she's not comfortable with it. What are you going to do about it? Drew also opens up about her messy divorce with Ralph. Now that he's taken her money, he's demanding alimony and a percentage of her business, and he even wants child support. She said that Ralph is living in the basement and revealed that working with Dennis is her way of channeling her emotions into music and securing the bag. Now, I get the financial hustle, but was Dennis really the best option? And with all that drama in her own life, why is she stirring the pot with Porsha, who's supposed to be her friend? Make it make sense. Drew, Drew pulls these stunts and then she plays clueless afterwards. And y'all, as soon as Shamea stepped into the gym, the energy shifted. Angela, I don't know what happened to her, but she wasted no time grilling Shamea, asking her why she even brought up the Dennis situation at the party. She even threw some shade, asking, well, are you Porsha's assistant? But hold up, wait a minute. Angela, where was all that energy at the party? Because even when you had the conversation with your daughter, you seem to be against it. All of a sudden, now you want to stand up for Drew? But like Shamea said, you were quiet as a church mouse, so now why are you talking so much about it? Meanwhile, in her confessional, Drew doubled down, calling Shamea Porsha's lapdog. Now, mind you, if Shamea clapped back and said, well, if you look up the definition of liar, you would see Drew's face, it would be a problem. She'd be like, me? When did I lie? What did I lie about? And my issue with Drew is that she always waits until she's in her confessionals to throw shade. But in real time, she acts like she's caught off guard. She's always giving these looks and making these faces like she doesn't know what they're talking about. And honestly, why is everyone so pressed that Shamea asked what we all were thinking? That's her best friend. I don't know how y'all handle your friendships, but me and my bestie, we ride together. She has my back, I have her back, period. And sometimes I may not want to say something, my bestie be like, girl, I got you. And she'll be taking care of it for me. This is how best friends operate. So I don't know why it's an issue that Shamea brought it up for Porsha. The final part of the episode took us to Porsha and Dennis's co-parenting playdate with their daughter Pilar. At first, it was given family bonding, but that did not last long. With Drew, and Dennis downplays it by saying it's just business, but Porsha isn't buying it. She jokes that Drew is acting like Dennis is her Lord and Savior. Which, let's be for real, she didn't actually say those words. I mean, Drew didn't actually say that. But Porsha is going to Porsha, right? Dennis then admits that he told Drew to inform Porsha about their partnership since they work together. Because remember, guys, Drew was also a brand ambassador for Porsha's Hair Go Naked, right? So here's the kicker. He also says that Drew wanted him to film with her to promote her music, which confirms that she was the one who initiated it. Porsha was visibly frustrated and she's trying to get Dennis to understand why this situation was messy, but he wasn't getting it. And he's saying like, oh, I would never touch Drew, but I'll definitely film with her. Now, that's not the answer Porsha wanted to hear. And so she got so upset that she walked off to the bathroom and she started crying to a producer. And at this point, it's clear that she's already dealing with so much with Simon. We've seen it, guys, all over the blogs. Every day Simon was making a post. Every day he was pretty much antagonizing Porsha, right? We see it. So during filming, she was literally going through all of that while we were seeing it happening. She doesn't need any more stress, especially not from Dennis, because they share a child. And so that complicates everything. If she and Dennis is not getting along, it's obviously going to cause issues with the relationship with their daughter. It is going to affect their daughter. And she's already dealing with so much. She has to get to a place where she's okay to be present for her daughter. So I don't know what we're not getting or understanding about this situation. I get it. I understand what Porsha is trying to say. And please don't misunderstand me. It's not because I love Porsha. I just understand what she's saying. She doesn't want to complicate the relationship with her daughter's father. And then came the hot mic moment. Porsha was pretty much just begging Dennis not to film with Drew and warning him that it would cause a negative effect on their daughter. And for the people in the back that just keeps bringing up, oh, this is her karma. She did the same thing to Fallon. Y'all are reaching. Fallon wasn't Porsha's friend. So let's just keep it real. stop. There's a difference, and I think now with many of the shows, we see a lot of the castmates making it abundantly clear that they call somebody their friend because they work with them, they have a work relationship, but they're not their real life friend. They're not the actual friend. With Drew and Porsha, they were actual friends. They were real life friends. They did things in real life. So it wasn't a business friendship. But honestly, here's the thing. Whether Porsha likes it or not, Dennis is already part of Drew's storyline. And at this point, it looks like there's no stopping it. And guys, that's a wrap on episode 2 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16. And it's already bringing the drama, the shit, and the mess. And we're just getting started. We're just on episode 2. Now, I have to know, what do you all think? Was Drew really being shady with Dennis? Should Porsha be upset, or is she overreacting? And guys, what do you think about Kenya and Porsha's friendship? Will it last this time? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to know everything. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps my channel. If you want all the latest on RHOA and your favorite reality TV shows, please make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a recap. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your love. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay shady, stay messy, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.